Wild is directed by Chris Sanders and based off the book of the same name and stars Harrison Ford as John Thornton. You gotta remember that name. And tells a story about a domestic dog named Buck who has been kidnapped by a group of people and is sent all the way to Alaska to become a dog sled leader, and is trying to find his place in this new life in which he suddenly finds himself in. And he runs into John Thornton through many of these occasions, and once it comes to a head, John Thornton takes him into his home. They start forming a bond as friends of sorts in a way. Like, of course, he's still his owner, but you sort of see like they have this dynamic where it's not like a normal dog or owner sort of relationship. They actually felt like friends coming close. Harrison Ford treats him like that, and this is a very interesting movie, I'll be honest, because that dynamic right there was one of the most interesting parts about it. And it really makes me feel a lot for Harrison Ford's character in this movie, because he's a man that lives alone, is far from his family. He sends letters to them. And Buck, who's a domestic dog, gets taken into this new area where he had no idea where he is. It's cold, and he has to use his strength and willpower to get through some of the toughest situations by becoming a sled dog. And it was very, very interesting to watch. But the one thing that I would say is the biggest negative I had with this movie is the special effects. This movie had a big budget, but it failed to make money, obviously, because of coronavirus. And I don't know, the dog emoting so much and moving the way they do. I don't know if it's, I just don't feel like I'm used to it, to that kind of special effects on dogs, because usually dog movies will have like real dogs, but they'll have special effects around the mouths to make them talk. That's not the case here. They don't talk or anything, but since the entire dogs and almost all the animals here are rendered as CGI, I just cannot really get myself into this world that felt like it was special effects. Special effects are good, very well detailed. In fact, all the other animals aside from Buck looked very good. But Buck's facial features and the way he emotes, almost like a person, I don't know, it just feels weird. And it really ruins some emotional scenes. And I just cannot get myself into those moments as much as I think the filmmakers wanted me to. Maybe if they did have more money and more time on special effects to actually make them imperfect, because imperfections is what makes a lot of things in movies very realistic, and I think it could have worked. But it felt too fluent. It felt too clean, and I just couldn't get into it. But the performances by Harrison Ford and Omar Sy are really fantastic. The special effects still are overall good. The scenery and cinematography is beautiful. I love the pacing. Though there are a few edits that just bugged me a little bit. It got me a little bit confused on how important a scene is. Because of the edit, it just did not really flow well. But overall, I will say that this is an overall good movie. But based off its themes, I felt like this movie could have been a whole lot more. But it's not bad. I would still recommend it. I missed it out in theaters because I thought the trailer made it look bad. But this was actually a very good movie. not perfect. As I mentioned, there are a few flaws, and a lot of special effects look too clean and too perfect that ruined some of the most emotional scenes. But this movie still had a beating heart to it. It was still very well directed. Chris Sanders did a great job directing this movie and the actors. And I will still overall recommend this movie if you haven't seen it. And I'm going to give The Call of the Wild a B. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys next time.